All right, welcome back to Buck What You Heard. My name is Gene. You can reach me at Buck What You Heard. I'm joined by my co-host, Christina, Tampa Sports Bay. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's Friday and we get to talk about the Bucks. What more could I ask for?
I know we're so much closer to the regular
So
season.
close.
I
So
mean,
close.
Sunday is just such a huge day,
Yeah,
and
Sunday, first day of training camp, and then, last night the Bucks had their ring ceremony, and then,
that was
you
amazing.
know,
I
so
just, I,
the other day was just 50, the other day was just 50 days till the first game, which, the Bucks are going to be playing in. It's just exciting times right now. The countdown is on.
yeah, and now we will actually have stuff to talk about, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're gonna actually get to talk about a lot of that. So for you watching that ring ceremony, it was pretty emotional for me.
It was very, very emotional, especially Tom Brady's speech. I was tearing up. If anybody has not seen Tom Brady's speech, you really need to watch it because he is so humble. That's something I never realized about Tom Brady until he came to the Buccaneers. I always thought he was like this big shot,
Arrogant.
best quarterback ever. But
Yeah.
he was such a humble man. The way he shouted out each and every one of the players that he plays with was just absolutely amazing. And that is what literally brought me to tears. He was like, I came to Tampa because I wanted to play with Mike, Scotty, Godwin. He's like, why wouldn't you want to play with these guys? And then he was like, I was tired of being sacked by Sue and JPP. So I wanted them on my team. It was just absolutely, absolutely amazing. So it was just him just being so humble is what's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's incredible. Abraham asked a question about what is the contingency plan for Jordan Whitehead. I'll get to that a little bit later in the show because I definitely want to talk about that and a couple other things. I do want to shout out Jay McElroy, who's out in the chat from the Buckaholics. If you are outside of the Tampa Bay area, be sure to try to link up with the Buckaholics. They do a great job. They're always, I mean, it's a nonprofit organization, so they do,
That's great.
and they do so much for charities. And that to me, they always have a new charity every year. Like I know the Arizona Buckaholics are doing Phoenix Children's Hospital, and
Gotta do it for the kids.
yeah, and what's awesome about that is it's a level 1 trauma center. So when kids come in, if a kid is hurt, they they'll cut the clothes off of it. So they're doing like a clothing drive for new clothes for these kids so that, when they go home, they may have something brand new to wear. So
That's
uh,
awesome.
so again, shout out to the Buckaholics. They are always on the spot and they look out for everybody. I mean, I'm happy to be associated with them. I love it. They just do a great job. And so we'll get back to, and then that's something else, Jay. I even forgot about you. I do want to talk about that in the show too. But kind of getting back to the ring ceremony, there are a couple of players that really stuck out to me. Levante David and Mike.
Of course. I mean, they were with the team for the longest time. They are the Buccaneers, the modern age of the Buccaneers, and they deserve those rings more than anybody on that team because they have stuck with the team and all through all of the bad, and now they're on top, number one team in the NFL.
Yeah, and think about this. Levante David could have, bypassed the contract and said, I want to go play for a Super Bowl contender. I want to go somewhere else. And I mean, I can get more money. I can play for somebody else and we can vie for a Super Bowl.
I mean, Mike Evans could have done the exact same thing. Their dedication to this team is what I love about players because you don't get that very often. You don't get that like dedication to a team. Everybody's always trying to hop around, either get the championship or get the money.
Yeah. And this is something I don't know that we'll ever see this in the free agency era ever again, where a team brought back everybody.
Right.
There's always one player. Normally it's the MVP that wants to go and chase the money somewhere else. Or it's that one guy that made a bunch of splash plays and you hear his name throughout the Super Bowl. And that's the guy that normally goes somewhere else. We had that back when the Bucks won the first time in Dexter Jackson,
right.
Going to Cincinnati for more money. and it just wasn't the same for him when he's there. And I think these players realize that they have something special here.
Mm-hmm.
And, what they were able to accomplish last year, it just makes you as a fan believe that they're able to do it again.
There really isn't any reason they shouldn't be able to. They should only improve from this point on. There really is no reason that they shouldn't get back to the Super Bowl other bearing any kind of injuries.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. And then you think about just all these different players in their stories. And Ndamukong Suh. And Ndamukong Suh goes to the Rams, and the Rams don't win, and he's just so close. Mm-hmm. And here's a guy who's been dominant wherever he's been, and it just makes you exciting that it makes you excited that here's this guy that's going out here and he's playing his heart out. He's doing everything that he can. And finally he gets rewarded after all this time. And it's a great story for him. There are just so many other players. I mean, redemption for Donovan Smith. I mean, here's a guy I wanted to launch his ass into the sun.
Oh, everybody in the world, every Bucs fan wanted to cut Donovan Smith themselves. If they were given the opportunity, they would have. But, I guess Tom must have seen something in Donovan Smith and, Bruce Arians, and they must have seen something in him and told him, yo, this is it. You need to step up. And that's exactly what he did. Ever since that Chicago game, he stepped it up.
And I think a lot of it too, that's something that's really helped him is a quarterback that's able to make good decisions and get the ball out quickly. Absolutely. And not put stress on your offensive line, because the longer you're holding onto the ball, the longer your players have to hold their blocks and stuff. So again, props to him. I think it's as a collective effort, everybody came together and they did what they needed to do. Right. And I think what works best about this last season was they went out and they didn't just beat like low budget teams. They went out and beat some really good teams. So
and then they beat the defending world champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, who didn't even manage to get a single touchdown.
Which I'm happy about that.
Yeah, which is great. Because, they say Patrick Mahomes is the future GOAT. It was a great storyline as well. The old GOAT, the new GOAT, and then now they're both on the Madden cover. And, it's just a great storyline for the NFL. But
I don't mean to seem like that old school, get off my lawn kind of guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But to be very honest, you got to go out there and play. You got to go out there and put those numbers up. You got to go out there and consistently win. There's just so much that he has in front of him. And I'm telling you what, the way the NFL is evolving, you look at this, look at the Chargers. The Chargers it made some really good moves over the offseason.
Absolutely. They have a threat. Their quarterback is a threat to be a top elite quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly where I was kind of going with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at the Raiders. The Raiders are continuously improving. They're slowly getting better. I don't like John Gruden, but as things go, they're just continually getting better. So there's a lot more competition in that division.
Yeah, basically the West. I remember when the West wasn't really that big of a deal. Any team that you played in the West, like the Chargers or the Rams or the like you said, the
Denver
Raiders.
Broncos, the Broncos.
You were like, oh, automatic win. But now they're some of the most competitive teams in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it all works. It's like. These general managers are not stupid. They're able to go out and revisit everything and get players, make tweaks, and come back and be competitive. And I think the division games are tough, just all around, because you're playing the same team twice a year. So, it's just you get to know them. You know who you're facing. And again, Kansas City. I think the game that really helped me with the Chiefs understand the Chiefs was the game against the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's where they thought you could see their weaknesses.
Yeah, and I swear to you, if Christian McCaffrey had been healthy, the Panthers would have beaten the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt in my mind they would have. And again, I know the Chiefs are looking to get back to the championship. It's going to be even harder.
Right, absolutely, because because that West Division is just so
the AFC in general is just
the AFC in general is very difficult and not.
Yeah, I mean, you look at
I see
Buffalo.
the Bills taking a fight for it.
Yep, I mean Buffalo's going to be really good. And then you look at the Raiders, and as I mentioned, the Chargers may quietly sneak in there and make some noise. You've got players that were injured for the Chargers that are 100% healthy and they're coming back. So it's just not a lock that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get back to the Super Bowl. I mean, we haven't even talked about the Cleveland Browns.
I know they could be the surprise team. Everybody's saying, it's them. They got it together. I don't know yet. I think they'll win a good amount of games. I don't know if they're Super Bowl contenders yet.
This is going to tell a lot about the identity of the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Is how they rebound off of that Super Bowl loss.
Right, absolutely.
So
a lot of the players have said, it was an embarrassment to lose like that, to be the reigning champions and then to lose the way they did.
Yeah. Well, you got to look, you look who you were up against. That defensive line, I would have put that defensive line against any O-line in the NFL and, just been comfortable with them playing.
Yeah. You probably could have even gathered the best offensive linemen in the NFL, and I think the defensive line would still just tear them up.
Vita Vea is the heart of that line, and what he does. And look at the linebacker core and how they played. And it all kind of goes back to the back, and that's what really helped the secondary was just all the pressure they were getting on the quarterback, which is what you've been hoping to see this forever. So
the secondary was always the issue with the Bucs. They always had a very good front line, good linebackers, but it was always the secondary because they were always younger or they were always too small or not fast enough. But now that they've all come together as a cohesive defensive unit, like you said, it gives the secondary more time to get on their man or to get into coverage.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So again, shout out to this team. The Bucs Super Bowl champions. We should.
And then obviously when I saw the ring, I'm like, I need one. This is the biggest and the best Super Bowl ring that has ever been created. If anyone has not seen the pictures yet, what are you waiting for? Because you're missing out. It is
incredible.
Absolutely beautiful. And then the top comes off. The first time there's a removable top. You see Raymond James Stadium right there in the middle.
Yep.
That is what I live for right there.
And the most beautiful thing about that ring is the 20-10 where the Bucs beat the Saints.
Absolutely. It's got the 20-10
scores.
I love the scores all around because we had to play Green Bay and the Saints and Washington all on the road. And it was very difficult to, go play two of the best teams in the NFC, the Packers and the Saints, to lose to the same Saints twice in the regular season and then have to try to beat them in the biggest game that counts in the NFC was just absolutely amazing. And then
that just sounds like a movie right there. I think
it is. Like,
ESPN, ESPN, you need to make a movie about this.
I mean, that's why you should watch In the Currents. It's basically like a movie, but but yeah, it like you said, it's a perfect story for the Buccaneers. Everything went right at the exact right time for them to be set up to win.
Exactly.
You couldn't have written it any better, honestly.
No, you couldn't. And, when you saw that first Saints game and you're like, okay, the Bucs are going to get back there and the Bucs are going to show them. Then you lose O.J. Howard and you lose, you just lose a lot of players that, that could have really, helped you. And the one thing that I will say that the Bucs were super fortunate about were the injuries and where the injuries occurred at. Right. Because they were able to get players back. Ali Marpet was a huge loss. And I believe
it absolutely was.
I believe if Marpet had been healthy, instead of being under concussion protocol, I think there's one or two of those games that the Bucs would have, or that the game against the Rams. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I'm not sure.
It'll come to me, but it's that game that the Bucs could have won that game had Marpet been healthy. I know that he wasn't there for the Chiefs game either.
Right.
back. And
Yeah, that was another one.
That's another game that they, they should have won that game too. But again, you don't have integral pieces. And so, those rings, the way they were handing out those rings, they were all well deserved.
Oh, and they were in the boxes and they were spinning around, and I was just like, oh, that is beautiful. Seeing the players' faces, absolutely amazing. And I felt like I was there with the ring.
Yeah. I think us fans, all the fans that have suffered over the decades or decade and a half,
yeah,
I think we should get replica rings too.
I know. I'm definitely going to be getting one. Maybe not the real thing, but
I'll give me another. I got mine right here. I got my old one, but I want another one. I want one for this hand too. So, but no, I'm excited. I really am. This season's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm kind of going through the chat here. I want to shout everybody out. Thank you so much. The chat is always lit. I appreciate you guys as always. Tempe 1D, you're right. Yeah. That speech by Brady was nothing short of amazing.
It brought tears to my eyes, and I'm not even being like exaggerating or being dramatic. I was feeling the emotion. I felt like he was like shouting me out too as a fan. He was like, he's saying thank you to all the players, all the coaches, all of the staff, and I felt like he's saying thank you, Christina. Thank you for watching. And I'm like, you're very welcome, Tom. You're welcome.
We're invested in this. I mean,
I'm way too invested to just move on to another team. That's just not possible. I've even said that to myself before. I was like, after getting trashed by so many friends all over the years, everyone is like, oh, Tampa sucks, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, they're coming around. Like, this will be the year. I said that every year.
But
I'm like, at one point, I was literally like, I can't pick a new team. Like, what team would I pick? And I can't. I just can't do
it. So right after Seattle won the Super Bowl, there was an ex-Bucks fan, and Seattle had won, and finally he's like, you know what? I'm giving away all my stuff. I've got his John Lynch jersey in my closet. Wow. And he became a Seahawks fan, and Seahawks ain't did nothing else since then. So,
no, sir.
I got a John Lynch jersey out of it. So
that's nice. That's always nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll kind of go around the league. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on this week. I got my man Jay from Buckaholics, one of the founding fathers of the Buckaholics out here, and they have just changed their logo. I love that. Have you seen their new logo?
I haven't seen it. I have to look it up right now.
Yeah, let me see if I can, while we're waiting here, I'll try to pull that up here. I'll try to pull that up in a little bit. But if you guys get a chance to, they're opening everything up for stadiums. This is an opportunity. We've been sequestered, basically, stuck in the house for a whole year. Christina, you were very blessed to be able to go to a game or two.
Yeah, I was able to go to one game. I didn't think I was going to be able to, but, Mom and Dad Bae are Bae, and they got me tickets for my birthday, so.
Oh, yeah, you got a great parents there. You can't go wrong there. So, you got to go to a game, but you know what? For fans, this is going to be awesome. We'll get to go to games. The Buckaholics will get to put together tailgates.
Yeah.
I think the big tailgate that I'm looking forward to is in Los Angeles.
Right. You told me that you were going to that game.
Yeah, I am going to be at that game hanging out with the Buckaholics. And I'm telling you what, if you don't ever experience anything else, you have to go to a Buckaholics tailgate. Just one. At an away game. When they came to Arizona, it was I had somebody who's a season ticket holder for the Cardinals told me that he has never seen anything like what the Buckaholics did.
We do it real here in Tampa.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about this was.
No, I know. I'm just saying, Tampa peeps do it good. That's how we party. That's how we get down. Because
Tampa is a party town. It's just what
absolutely. We do. Like you can't expect anything less than a party when you're hanging out with people from Tampa.
Yep, there you go. So again, that was a blast, and just what they have planned for this year. They even showed up for in Vegas for the draft, and they still You had players that people that still hung out for the draft, and it was fun. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a big. This Rams game is going to be a big event.
Yeah. I'm excited for you to go. You'll have to let me know how the stadium looks because it looks beautiful.
It doesn't have a pirate ship. I don't care.
No, I mean nothing is as good as a pirate ship, but that little like flame looks pretty cool. Not as cool as the pirate ship though.
Yeah, this is true. But again, man, everything is like quadruple the price in LA anyway. So
yeah, absolutely. But yeah. I've never been to an away football game. I'm really trying to get to the Saints one.
The Saints game
on Halloween.
Yeah,
that would be epic. I've always wanted to go to New Orleans, and I obviously love my Bucks. And then Halloween is my favorite holiday, so it's basically a perfect storm.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to go.
William Michael Freeman. Yeah, you know what? This is Champa Bae, the Lightning back to back. There you go. I mean, yeah, we've been talking about this. Trust me, I was in Tampa, and that was fun. we went to we ended up going to a bar downtown Tampa, the Anchor Bar, and we actually watched the game 3 from there, and we had a blast. And I'm here to tell you, Tampa has a whole nother vibe now with the winning championships and that winning attitude and that swagger. Tampa, you see more Buck stuff, you see Lightning stuff, you see Rays stuff. People are rocking the gear, and that's what it's all about. Steve Anderson, what's going on, my man? Buckaholics, show up and show out. And that's what it's all about. I love the unity. And
just the Tampa pride, what's the pride that people have to say, I'm from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
My team
that's always proud. And that's me. I'm always proud to say, oh yeah, I'm from Tampa.
Oh yeah, I'm always proud to say I'm from Tampa Bay. And now even more so because of our sports teams. Before we were robbed, of years of having like really bad sports teams.
Yeah, it was just the team was just poorly run. And you had, not so much the Lightning. The Lightning have always
been, so close. And then, they did it in 2004 and never were really able to get back to it.
But they were somewhat competitive. So, you always appreciated the Lightning.
Yeah, but then Tampa hockey gets a bad rap because they're like, who wants to play hockey in Florida? Like, Florida is not a hockey town. And I think we've definitely proven that Florida is a hocky town.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw my Instagram where I had that picture up there, and I'm like, Tampa is a hockey town. I don't care what nobody says. Yep. And I've had that argument with people too, because there are franchises that haven't even gotten their first Stanley Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
And Lightning has 3. So think about that.
Yep.
There you go. So we kind of talked a little bit about the rings. I want to touch on something, and please, guys in the chat, I don't want to make this political, and I'm going to start this off by saying this has to do with vaccinations because it's in the news. It's something we have to talk about. It's in our face. What we have to do is respect each other's opinions, and I think we've lost that along the way somewhere where people don't respect other people's opinions. Me personally, I've done research. I know doctors and surgeons. And just being able to talk to people and understand things, that's how I was able to form my opinion. So if somebody is saying, hey, I'm not going to do it, or I don't want to do it, okay, cool, that's on them. I'm not going to get political with anybody. We need to start understanding people before we start, making decisions. If that's what they choose to do, that's on them. Because for a long time, forever, I wouldn't get flu shots.
Right.
Because I take care of myself. I eat, vitamins and this and that. And I feel like my body will recover if I don't need a flu shot. I don't want the virus, shot into my arm or something like that. And there's, 5 or 6 different variations of it out there. I mean, I just don't see the point in it. So for me, that was my take on it. But, understanding this and how much more lethal you're talking about this being with all the hundreds of thousands of people that have died in the U.S. alone, just kind of made me rethink that and really, do my homework and understand and come to my own conclusion. So I want you guys to know I'm not going to judge anybody for what they believe or how they feel about it. That's on you. That's what you choose to do. And you know what? I get you. I get you. And I've had people that have explained why they haven't done it or they won't do it. And I'm like, okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, it all comes down to just respecting one
Yeah.
another as
Yeah.
people. It
100%.
doesn't, it's not a political thing. It's not about race, culture, your political viewings. It has nothing to do with that. It's what is in your head of what you believe is right or wrong.
Mhm.
And like you just have to respect what other people think about that. You can still be friends with that person. There's no reason not to be.
Yeah. I totally agree. But again, to each his own.
Mhm.
And that's just kind of how it is. I mean, you look at this, the co offensive line coach Cole Popovich is no longer in the staff of the New England Patriots because of the COVID rules that are out there. And it just wasn't something that he wanted to he didn't want to deal with. So, he's moved on. That's where his convictions are is being that way. So, again, that was his choice. That's what it came down to for him. And that's how he ended up, handling the situation.
Yeah, talking about the NFL COVID protocol. I don't know what the new protocol is or the policy or anything like that.
That's like the offensive line coach, Rick Dennison for the Minnesota Vikings is another one. He left the team refusing to get vaccinated for COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not going to choose one way or the other. That's their choice. And, that's something that I'm sure that they've taken the time to discuss with their families or whoever and come up with the conclusion that it was better for them to do that rather than, be on the team. So again, not my place, not my choice. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Tempe, I'm going to be at the Patriots. How did you get tickets to a Patriots game?
You must be a millionaire or no.
Yeah, you got to be. Hey, you got to pull the yacht up, man. It's expensive. It's ridiculously expensive to go to that just because this is probably going to be, I bet this game gets flexed. What do you think? The Patriots versus the Bucks. I bet it gets flexed. I bet this game gets flexed.
What do you mean by that?
Flexed where they move it to like a Sunday night or something like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was surprised that it wasn't already, a Sunday night or a Monday night game because of how profound it is. The storyline, like we were talking earlier, it's a story basically that the NFL wants to tell. The GOAT is going back to where he grew up with Bill Belichick, and now he is the reigning world champ. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's that's pretty much it. We're seeing that more or less in sports. Period. I mean, you look at the NBA and all the storylines that they have going into games and stuff like that. Oh, Nestor saying it is a Sunday night game. I was like, I for some reason
I thought it was Sunday afternoon. Yeah. But if you're saying it's a Sunday night game, I'm gonna take your word.
It probably is, and I just don't know. I don't know any better. So we're pulling up the schedule, which but it's not one of those games that I wanted to go to. Yep, you're Sunday night game.
Okay.
8:20.
Yeah, I don't really care for that game. A lot of people are going to say that the Patriots are going to whoop the Bucks' ass, but I just don't see that as a possibility.
Again, who knows? It's any given Sunday, anything can happen. I still don't like New England.
Yeah, any given Sunday, anything can happen.
$650 each. Where are you sitting? Where are you going to be sitting at? Where are your seats? Tempe, where are your seats at? Within the stadium. I'm really curious to know that part. Yeah, Nestor, and it is so. Man, $650. Jesus.
Yes, I believe you, Nestor. I'm sorry I doubted you for 1 second.
Yeah, stand corrected.
Your mortgage payments.
So how many people are going? That's the cheapest tickets in the upper bowl. How many people are going to the game with you?
Yeah, I don't know. You would have to be a fan of the Patriots and the Bucks, I think, to justify going to that game.
That's like $1,300 right there.
Yeah,
just for two people, and maybe, but for two.
Well, yeah, and then you got to get on the gotta get all those taxes and fees in there. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's where they get you, the fees. They get you in the fees.
and you guys are going to have to Uber to the game.
Uber.
You're going to have to Uber to the game because
Mhm.
parking is going to be, I'm sure you got to throw parking in there too at Foxborough. Oh, the LA tickets. You know what, bro? I'm actually going to go to a bar and
Have
watch.
you gotten your LA tickets
I'm
yet?
not going to. I'm actually going to go to the tailgate. Then I'm going to go to a bar and watch the game.
Oh, you're not gonna actually go to the game? I thought you were gonna
No,
go to the game.
no, I don't want to go to that stadium. I don't care.
I thought
No,
we talked about how much you wanted to go to it.
I did, but then just considering how much everything is, and
You're like, you're slowly adding up the budget right now, and you're like,
adding up. I would rather go to a home game.
yeah.
So you got 2 tickets. It's $1,300. Oh yeah. So he's hooked up. So he's got a driver and everything. So that's going to work out great.
Mm-hmm.
And Steven Anderson is saying the same thing. I'm right, because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of buckaholics that are saying, you know what, I'm not paying that kind of money. We can go to a bar and watch the game. I mean,
Definitely.
you know what? I can go on YouTube and see and get a tour of the stadium if I really want to.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah. So.
This is before taxes.
Oh yeah, taxes and fees probably be like another like $200.
Jesus, that right there. I don't know. I'd rent out a bar. I rent out a bar and have my friends hanging out with me.
Mm-hmm. No Patriot fans allowed.
Yeah, there you go. So I was going around the league here. It looks like the Seahawks are getting ready to pay Jamal Adams to be the highest paid safety.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
and then it just came out about Aaron Rodgers not taking that contract to be the highest paid quarterback.
I don't blame him. I mean, he's and then, I think the trickle down effect is that Devontae Adams is at odds with the Packers either for a long-term extension deal.
So, right. So it just goes to show that there must be problems
that
in the Packers front office that is making these players not want to be here, even for the money. It's not about the money for Aaron Rodgers, and he's just proven that by turning down the biggest contract to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He wants to win championships, and he feels like the front office is just not doing that for him.
Yeah, and I don't think he has enough say so or input in all this. And now this is the era of where your quarterback or your main player has to have input on the players that come to the franchise nowadays. So that's kind of a trendy thing. Nicholas, what's up from Chicago? How you doing, man?
Chi-town.
What's
it like living with Bears fans? I bet it's horrible.
It is. I mean, if it's anything like Bears fans were when they would come to Tampa, when when we were all in the same division, it can't be fun at all.
Yeah.
It can't be.
Now Chicago's not that great. but I can only imagine that their fans are still very annoying.
Yeah, this is very, and they definitely are. So I did want to mention this too. We haven't really got to talk about it. It looks like Michael Thomas won't be running any slants for the first part of the season after having surgery to repair ligaments in his ankle.
Oh, really? No slant boy.
Yeah,
so it makes a difference in the game anyways. So
yeah, and I just want to say this. I want to say this, and I don't like New Orleans, but I would never wish harm or run a victory lap on a player that got hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
We were seeing that. I was seeing that from Bucs fans in Twitter, and it was like disgusting.
Because at the end of the day, we are all people. Like, would you wish someone to be injured? No, I don't think so. Even like your sworn enemy, would you wish for that person to get hurt really bad? No. Yeah. Do I wish they get roughed around a little? Like, do I want my player to sack the quarterback? Yeah, but do I want something bad to happen? No, definitely not. So people who say that, like I hope he
I
gets
think a lot of
knocked
people.
out on his ass and stuff. So,
I don't think those people have actually played organized sports.
oh, probably
That's
not.
that's probably the. I mean, there may be a few that have, but for the most part, I don't think most people that would say something like that have ever played.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you personally, I wouldn't wish injury on any player out there. I don't like Roger Goodell. I don't know. I'm going to shut my mouth here on that one. But like the players, like a Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, it's good to have that competition. And I really wanted to see the Saints at their best going up against the Bucks at their best. Just to
Right. Yeah. You want the best to be the best. You don't want to see the Bucks play an injured team. Like it just doesn't. It's not as good. Which
yeah,
is, this is a funny comment that Nestor said. That repetitive motion, running slants, takes a toll sooner or later. So like that constant motion of running that slant on that ankle
yeah.
has just worn out. It's like if you're using one tire too much than the other tire, it's gonna
And
run out sooner or later.
I'm gonna go a step further here. I would blame Sean Payton for the slant guy and his injury, because if I remember correctly, the New Orleans Saints were up. They were up in the game, and they were still trying to run up the score on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he got hurt initially.
Right.
And throughout the season, he just was never the same. He after that first game where he was making a few plays, but it wasn't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Even every time he came back where he was somewhat healthy enough to play, he just was never
not.
the same player. And again, that's kind of where we are with this. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but the New Orleans Saints are in trouble. I mean, when I look at their lineup, and
and then we could see that they were in trouble at the end of the season because of the fire sale that they were having. They were letting players go left and right. They couldn't afford to keep any of them. And so they're down to their bare minimum right now.
right. And I think a lot of that has to do with Mickey Loomis. And, you can only kick the can down the road so many times before you have to make sure that everything gets kind of caught up. So they've lost a lot of players, and they're thin in certain positions, and they're lacking depth, and it's going to be one of those. You never know what's going to happen with the NFC South. I don't know how the Atlanta Falcons are going to respond to their new head coach. I don't know how if Carolina is going to bounce back and have a healthy Christian McCaffrey and be able to make a push. Is Sam Darnold going to be the answer in Carolina? There are just so many unanswered questions within the NFC South. And for once, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not in that conversation.
No question marks here. We are the reigning champs, and we have managed to bring back all 11 starters, all 11 players.
Yep.
So there's not a single question mark that anybody should ask at all.
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly the point. The Saints are the worst right now. Wrong to cheer injuries for anything that's taking it too far. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of where I'm at. But again, I don't think he's going to be out for the whole season. I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks, I believe, just to recover from that. So, again, they're going to be without, a guy that could, help them.
Their main guy, that's their go-to.
Exactly. Tempe, I did not hear the mic'd up for Malcolm Jenkins. I'll have to go and look for that. I don't know. Have you heard it, Christina?
No, I haven't heard it. I will have to look that up after the show.
So yeah, that's something I'll definitely be looking for as well. So I know there was something. That's what I wanted to talk about a little bit more is the Buckaholics, and just if you get a chance, I think Steven Anderson put this up. So buckaholics.org 2021 collection. Go check out some of their stuff.
Right. I just pulled up their new logo. It looks very fresh, very crisp. Love it, guys. You did a great job.
Yeah, definitely.
I will definitely have to get out to a Buckaholics tailgate one day.
I promise you won't be sorry.
Yeah.
I
will take your word for it because I believe you.
Yeah, I mean, they had so many people like the one in San Diego. I mean, it was more Bucks fans this at the San Diego game, and I think there were Chargers fans. And you could just when the game was going on, you could hear Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Tampa.
like
You could just hear it.
basically at Raymond James Stadium.
Yeah, it was may have been louder just the way that they were just doing it, and it was
Yeah.
just so when they can get the group together, man, they really do an amazing job. So definitely get a chance to go to a game, check it out.
I will for sure one day.
All right, let me go down the chat here. Steven Anderson, James couldn't hit him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a repetitive motion.
Yeah, that's the repetitive motion, like literally running the same direction.
Yeah. I wanted to play so I could be the best. Yeah. And that's normally how that goes.
Yeah. Because then there's no excuse. Like people are going to
that's the whole thing because
like, oh, you guys got lucky because basically the entire team was injured. That's not. You want the best to go against the best.
Yeah. And unfortunately with the Saints, they have an excuse for every playoff loss that they've had. Refs or
the refs. They got the whole new rule for them. Then it went away.
Yeah, because it didn't help them.
It didn't help anyone.
Exactly.
I don't think a single call was ever overturned.
Exactly. So
I don't think there ever was one.
This is so true. All right. And I will find that. Robert Horton, what's going on? How you doing?
LA
tailgate. Oh yeah, the LA tailgate in 2019. I didn't get to make it, but I saw the pictures and it was just it looked incredible. I think 2019, you know what? I think we were in Morocco. Yep. We were I think we were in Morocco and that's the only reason I didn't go because I sure would have went, man. And well, this year it's a whole nother year. Everybody's able to get out and I will be at some games, trust me.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to travel and get to some more games.
Yep. Hey, you gotta tell the family, hey, I want to go to LA.
Yeah. I'll definitely be tailgating at a bunch of games and then I'll try to be at some games.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, I'll definitely be tailgating at most of the games.
Yeah. And shout out to Bucks Report. You guys are killing it, man. Just with all the new content that's coming out. Just everything that we are getting. You're hooking people up and just getting people all the information they need on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes, absolutely.
And there is there's an article and that's what I was wanting to talk about. There is an article, basically Johnny Dean, who's one of the listeners, he wrote, and he was talking about building the Buccaneers for Beyond Arians and actually, let me see if I can find this article.
What is it, Beyond Arians and Brady?
Yeah.
Because that's right now we're hoping for a dynasty, something sort of like Brady had in New England. Now Brady is older. Do we have maybe like 2 or 3 more years with him? I don't know. We don't know what that dynasty is going to be like. And then, Kyle Trask, is he the answer to take over as quarterback? So I can see right now I'm just writing it out, but a lot of people have that question mark in the back of their head. What's the future?
I'm going to say this. Jason Light, I'm 200% sold on Jason Light. Jason Light is a guy that when he started out, it was kind of a rocky start. 2016 was a rocky start, but he started hitting on his draft picks. He got his coach. He got his guy in Bruce Arians, and then it just kind of built up from there. He built this team, and we can honestly say, outside of Levante David, he built this team.
Right. Mike Evans was his first pick.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have this dynamic offense without Mike Evans.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, what he's done has just been nothing but short of amazing. I mean, he continues to hit on draft picks. I can't wait to see Joe Tryon and see what he does.
Joe Tryon is going to be a beast this season. Absolutely cannot wait for it. And then Jalen Darden. I'm hoping to see big things from him as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Just getting to see these players and continue to see the progress. I think somebody mentioned Trask in the chat earlier.
Right. Yeah, I saw that
And,
earlier.
and here's a guy that's in the best. He has the best opportunity
Oh
right
my goodness. Of all of the quarterbacks that were drafted this season, which there were a lot of quarterbacks that were
now.
drafted, Kyle Trask is probably in the best position right now. He's not going to get the start,
He
but he's
doesn't.
going to be able to sit behind the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yep. And the
So,
cool thing is, no pressure. There is no pressure on
absolutely
Trask.
zero pressure.
And that's the biggest thing to me. That's the
Mhm.
biggest factor is that he's not having to sit here and stress out. Man, what if they put me in? Um, he can learn. He can learn the system because at some point it's going to be on him to come in and play. Hopefully, he'll get a few reps here and there.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see him play in preseason. And I'm excited to see him at training camp as well. But to see some preseason games with him playing, I think that would be actually like a really cool time.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are players that are just going to be rotational players that are going to get to come in. I like the
Mhm.
fact that we have camp. And with camp, that gives you the opportunity to see players that you normally wouldn't get to see.
Yeah.
But kind of
And
getting
that's a
back
chance
to
for players to like show their worth, to show their value.
the,
So a player that a coach may not have thought about could be fighting for a starting spot.
yeah. And the word that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and fans, you can back me up on this here. The word we have not been able to use as Bucs fans is depth. We have
Yes.
we have not been able to say the Bucs have depth in multiple places. We
Oh
just
my
haven't done it.
goodness. But if you talk about that wide receiver room, that
Yeah.
running back room,
The tight end room.
tight end room, basically the offense.
Yeah.
Depth
Even
upon depth upon depth.
you look at the defense. I mean, even the defense is out there too. So just my point is, we've never had this as
Mhm.
fans. We've never been able to sit here and say, man, they've got depth at this position. We don't have to worry about anything because we're covered.
Yep, absolutely. Everything is covered, which is why, bearing any sort of injury, I think the Bucks would still do well.
Oh my God, Tempe, you were in Morocco. Did you use the yacht?
Yeah, Gino's a yacht in Arizona for sure.
Oh my goodness. I heard that Arizona has the highest number of boats on boat ownership in per capita in the country.
I'm sorry, what? Where?
I had to find that stat.
Where are they?
Exactly.
Not Miami.
Lake Havasu, I guess. I don't know, but that's what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
Okay, Drew is asking about Tyler Johnson. Okay, I will talk about Tyler Johnson all day long because he has definitely become one of my new favorite wide receivers. Yeah, he's definitely transformed into a top wide receiver. He's not going to get the ball every time. Like last season, he didn't get the ball every time. He didn't play every time. But those times that Tom Brady threw him the ball, he caught every single one of them, and they were dynamic plays. Third
Oh,
down plays, like third and long, or, just very big plays where he was able to be a dynamic player and get the job done.
yeah.
He
Tyler
had very
Johnson.
little chances, but he took them all. I'm
Yeah.
very excited to see what he has to do in year 2.
Yeah. Hey, he's the future here, I believe. And I think what you saw was just a glimpse of what he's capable of doing.
Yeah. And if people have talked about maybe he's not as fast, I haven't seen that necessarily. I don't think we've been given the chance to see that. Definitely something I'm going to look for at training camp to see if he has that speed, because I see him being a mix of AB and Chris Godwin.
He's a great route runner.
Yes.
He's very clean. His routes are clean. If you ever watch, I mean, he sells his routes. I mean, his routes are clean. I love the guy. I would love to see him, get more touches as well, but
Yeah,
you can't
absolutely.
distribute the ball around so much.
Right. It's whoever has the hot hand and whoever Tom Brady is feeling at the time. Maybe this game he will have a connection with Scotty Miller. This game he has a connection with Mike Evans. So it all depends on how the game is going.
Yeah, I do want to shout out Misador, longtime listener as well. Will Trask win the number 2 spot? I don't think so. I think you've got your guy in Blaine Gabbert. And I think they're going to ride with Blaine Gabbert through the season. And this will give Trask a chance to kind of sit back and just learn.
He's going to learn so much. I hope it just takes it all in and is just amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And here's a guy that, you know, he's made good decisions. I mean, I don't know if you watched him in college, but he didn't put his team in harm's way a lot. And, you know, again, I think that his decision making at the time was really beneficial in Florida winning the games, some of the games that they won.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Tempe won. It's not speed. He's sudden and alert, eyes on the ball through the catch, and great body control. Yeah, we saw that with that catch that Tom Brady threw that he caught. That
I just see that play over and over again in my head.
I see it.
I think of Tyler Johnson, it's that play. And I know we're talking about the same play. It was like sidelines, perfect. It was like a 3rd and long situation.
Because I thought he was throwing it away, and then I'm looking, and he snags and brings his ball in, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, but that is a very great description. You know, being sudden and alert and great ball control, great eyes and hands, just great. He's a great player.
Yeah. So, and my friend from Minnesota, what about our guy Antoine Winfield Jr.? You gotta.
Star. I'm hoping for more. I'm hoping for an even better year.
He's a star in the making. If he can just stay healthy, I mean, he's that guy.
Yep, he could be the face of this defense for sure.
Well, guys, I know it's a little bit early. We're gonna kind of cut out. I'm gonna let you get back to your weekend. Thank you for taking time to hang out with us. I do want to shout out Bucks Report. I want to shout out Smack Apparel. And you know, there's another person out there who's actually goes out and makes some of the chains. I don't know if you've seen some of the chains that people are wearing. Zach King of Game Changers. He hooked me up with a sweet chain. You'll see me wearing it. You know.
I need a chain. That's one thing that I have always wanted. So I need one.
I got you covered. Okay. I got you covered. Trust me. I got you. Yeah. So, you know, any final thoughts before we roll out of here?
Just super excited for the season coming up. Sunday will be day 1 of training camp, and just super hyped. And
who are you looking for at training camp? Who are you excited to follow at training camp?
Everyone.
Everyone.
No, I mean, like, I'm gonna have my eyes on everyone. I mean, the big guys. Obviously, I'm gonna want to. And like I said, Tyler Johnson, I want to check out his to see if that's a thing. Like, is it his speed, or is that just something people are just saying? Another thing is,
if you go back and watch some of the games, and just go back and watch. And I'm going to get you my all 22 so you can go back and watch it.
Okay, yeah.
I'll hook you up with the link and everything, and we'll get that done. This is Zach King of. If you go and look for Game Changers. Zach King, Drew, hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, and I'll get you the link and get you set up with him. The guy does amazing work. And you know, as a matter of fact, next week I'll have the chain out so you can kind of see it. And you know, we got to get the Champa Sports one as well. We got to get her a Bae chain. So
yes,
happen.
Love it. I love it. But yeah, Tyler Johnson, looking forward to seeing Vita Vea. Joe Tryon, obviously, and then Jalen Darden. I'm very excited to see his speed. Everybody's talking about his speed. I want to see it in person.
Yeah. I want to see this. I want to see this secondary make the next step. I don't want to see a slow start. I want to see them pick up where they left off in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. They need to be from there. Ball hawks like crazy, running around.
We now know that they can do it. We just need to see it on a consistent basis, and I think we will.
Yep.
All right. So for me, final thoughts. I want to thank everybody that has contributed in the chat. Don't think that it doesn't get noticed. Shout out to the Buckaholics for, you know, always being supportive. You guys always have Rex, Felix, Jay, and Robert. Trying to think, who am I missing here? I'm missing somebody important. Steve Anderson, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I know he'll kill. I'm sure he left already, but you know, if he were here, he'd probably say something about it. But
yeah,
again, shout out to the Buckaholics. I appreciate you guys. UK Bucks, you guys are wonderful. I appreciate you as well. Just, you know, everybody in the podcast community. I appreciate what we're doing. We're doing this all together. And that's what I love, is that we can all work together as a collective unit as opposed to working against each other. I think there's room for everybody. So again, shout out to all you guys. Shout out to the fans, because listeners, without you, we wouldn't be able to do this. So
without you, I would literally just be talking to a microphone by myself.
You know what? And of course,
which I probably would still do it anyways.
I've enjoyed the off season, getting to work with you. I know that there have just been things that have come up, but there just hasn't been a lot to talk about. So it hasn't been a big deal, but we're ready to get rolling full speed ahead. And
we're in the grind. We're less than 50 days away from the first game. So we are in it. Countdown is going down.
August, what is it? August 7th? Or August for the Hall of Fame game?
I'm just gonna say yes.
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah. We're so unprepared, but you know what? It's fun. We have the most unprofessional show on Bucks Report, so we have that on our side. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. And be sure to check out our shirts. We are going to be wearing matching shirts right for the Hall of Fame game. So look for that. But anyway, we are out of here, and I want to thank everybody. Have a good weekend. Peace.